Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys. Well, we thought this could get interesting. Here's interesting. An onside kick to start this thing. And the Seattle Seahawks. So that one will be accepted. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Elliott running right. He cuts right sideline in some space. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard
line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Check. One fluff.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Touch 50.
Right here, guys. Fight 51.
They'll run on first down. Turner. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against this defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this number 1 defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 7.
51's the mic. Left pass.
51's the mic, boy. 51. Watch the run. Watch the run. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. I don't think you got it, son. Hey, Mike 51.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ricky Seals-Jones, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Schultz. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Prescott yet again. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Prescott. And Adams has it. Complete. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
On the Seahawks 28-yard line.
Here we go.
Elliott, toss right. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Third down.
Here we go. Slide in. Not today, Ron. Not today. Hey, kill.
These two teams all tied after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. Slide in. I got it. Man left. Hey, 4 down. Here we go, 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's got Adams on the hookup. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Marr now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go.
At their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Richardson to start the drive. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That was a really nice play. He was able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Run left.
On 2nd down, it's Turner. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Hey, alert. Go. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm down. Let's go. You run. 51's the mic. 51.
On third down, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
On first down, it's Elliott. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
In your face.
On second down now, it's Elliott. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
And a Cowboy first down.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Tie that left. 3 down. Here we go, 46. Watch the screen. 46.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Check Mike, 99. We're going to 53. Let's see what you got. Check Mike, 99.
Throwing again. Prescott on second and 10. And that's complete to Adams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first and 10, Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Now Elliott. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brings up second and goal.
From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Prescott on third and goal to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL.
Don't get nervous.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Got it.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Watch the screen.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And that's good for a Seahawks. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Coming to you. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Listen.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing again here, Wilson. Flushed out right. He'll try and run it. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle 3rd of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Let's go, baby.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score with
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Elliott. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, come on now, come on now. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Pull up the signal. One left, one left.
Now a give, right side. It's Turner. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
51 to Mike. Man, I got 36 power. Alert. Trump. Hey, 0.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Incomplete. Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Stop your whining.
Hey, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Here we go.
I'll go special.
Safe.
Hey, 0.
Switch. Mike 5-4.
14.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Ball trot. Mike 54's Mike. Check.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Silver. Switch.
14.
Mike 51. We own him. Tighten up.
14.
Tighten up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Turner. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Mike 90.
Mike 54.
Got.
You're not ready.
Good job right there.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half. Still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan.
Taken in at the 22. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Prescott on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Mike 3. There we go.
Prescott now from the 50. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr on for the extra point. And the lead is now 13.
Makes the score Cowboys 27, Seahawks 14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Now Wilson on first down. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
4 down. Good luck for single.
51's the mic. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
Now Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Hey, 47. Gun. I got you. 26.
Prescott to throw this time. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down, Cowboys.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Elliott. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Prescott now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, kill. 27. 26.
Prescott from the gun. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 35-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Cut! Check 26, check 26. Hey, guys, listen. 51, Mike, 51.
So don't say nothing.
Hey, 0.
51, Mike. Echo.
Watch us swing.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 78 yards. As they have now chopped this lead down to 3. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
Here we go.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
26.
Now a give, right side. It's Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Go right in. Hey, kill.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal. Watch the curl.
Now on second and 16, Prescott, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Ridley. A pickup of 15 yards, but it's now third down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On third down, Elliott. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Elliott on first down, going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
At the 42-yard line.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Tight end right. 4 down. Check.
Go. Here we go. 46.
Prescott to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, we got to seal.
Here we go. Go to 54. Right in.
Alert 3.
Here we go. 47.
Here we go. D. All day. Defense. All day.
26.
Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 15-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And say what you want about CenturyLink Field up in Seattle, but for my money, this is the loudest and most difficult place to win in the league.
It's very hard. The fan support, off the charts. The way that they make noise and understand when to make noise, they understand the game as well as anyone. And how about what we get in our media packets when we start preparing for the game? They have it in their own stuff, right? The number of offsides penalties, false start penalties that they draw against the opposing team because of that fan support. And last but not least, they designed the stadium to keep the noise in, and it works.
But not in this one. They were able to somehow come in here and get that victory. So for the Cowboys, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for